With launch and spin, I'm looking for a ratio. When you add the two numbers together, it's like 10 degrees with launch and 25 spin, that's 35. Those first two numbers, right? The higher the swing speed you are, the higher you can launch it with lower spin and still get the carry. The slower swing speed you are, the more spin you need to keep the ball in the air. So there's an efficiency. But TaylorMade came up with a thing back in like when the SLDR came out. Basically, they were saying that number was 34. That was the best ratio you were going to get regardless. So if you launch it at 17 degrees in the air, 1700 RPM of spin is great. If you launched it at 10 degrees, you need 2700 RPMs of spin, right? Or 2400. So it's 34.
So lower launch is going to be higher spin. But isn't higher launch, lower spin the ultimate goal?
There's a window, right? So there's a peak efficiency. So when you don't have enough ball speed, you need spin to keep it in the air. Like Cam Champ's a perfect example. He launches it very low, like 8 degrees or something like that, and his spin is on the higher range, upper 2000s, right? Because he can get away with low launch, high spin.
I remember Rory at the Masters, he said he switched balls, and it was a higher spin ball, but he didn't lose distance with it somehow, because I guess he was getting it hit launching low enough it was keeping it in the air.
Potentially, potentially. Or the speed was a little bit faster on it. But yeah, you need enough launch and enough spin to get the most carry out of it. And carry is what we really want because that's the only thing we can control.
Right.
We can't control course conditions, firm, soft, whatever, but the pros can switch balls or switch driver setups to get more rollout depending on the conditions or more stopping power. But for your everyday Joe Blow, they just need something that's going to carry.
161, 283.
All right, there you go. So that's a good launch. Had some stank on it. So we're at
Better ball.
15 and 25, so that's 40. So higher end, right? We have lower ball speed, so we need a little bit higher launch, a little bit higher spin, which is fine, higher that ratio there. But as long as you're 40 or below, you're typically okay, but you need to be higher than like 20,
So that one right there, I was high, that's 15 and 25, so 40. So does it and this is where I got to be careful not to get too technical. Do I need to try to bring the spin rate down or the launch down? Or does it matter?
No, when you're at 161 miles an hour of ball speed, if you're carrying at 280, I wouldn't touch it. You start getting those knuckleballs that look like a wounded duck flying in the air and they just dive bomb. I would leave it alone.
150. So that's an interesting there. 154 ball speed, 287 carry, because that was a toe ball. The toe ball goes forever. It doesn't have any ball speed, but it goes forever.
Well, but so let me tell you a little industry secret about Foresight's calculations. Anything under 2,000, 2,100 RPM of spin with driver is going to juice your carry by like 10 to 15 yards.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yep. So always, whenever you see a really low spin ball and it goes really far, you have to understand that's a misjudgment in their calculations. The fitters love it because they can put you in a high spin low thing and it goes forever with 150 mile an hour ball speed and they're like, woo, look at you, so. But yeah, for you, ball speed, we want to see, if it's in the low 160s, we want to see the spin over 2,000 and a little bit higher launch.
So over 2,000, so that's something that
if you're talking about consistency.
For the longest time, I've been a super, super high ball, high spin player. So I play the Pro VX or whatever it is now, the lowest spinning ball that you can get. And I've never had a hard time getting the ball up. It's only been recently, probably this year, I changed shafts on the driver, and that's helped me get it down a little bit.
Yeah, that's the 7X. Yeah, that's not a high spin shaft at all.
Yeah.
Is that the triple diamond head, or was that?
That's the old Epic head.
Okay.
I need a new driver.
Highest.
But for the longest time, like I would look at 16.
So I say golfer, I need a new driver.
I need a new driver. Well, this is older than. I've got kids younger than this.
Oh wow.
Let's see. I'll look up the Ping optimal launch and spin for you.
But see, for the longest time, the lower the spin, the better in my mind. So there is a floor that I don't really try to get below. 158, 288.
Yeah, so driver launch angle versus spin, right? So if we're launching, this is 167 mile an hour ball speed example. Your optimum carry is going to be 17 degrees of launch and 2,000 spin, somewhere around there, right? 1,900 to 2,000, or 2,100 to 2,000 RPM of spin. That's the most you're going to get out of 167 mile an hour ball speed. If you have less ball speed, right, that's going to change. If you have more ball speed, that's going to change.
So that one was 18 launch, 2,000 spin, 6 degrees right spin.
So like here, I'll show you this. Like let's say, for example, this If you can launch it super high and you got a lot of ball speed, you can spin it super low. If you have a 0 degree, right, 9, 25, 34, it's right in that 34 to 36 number ratio for most people.
But you gotta have some spin to get it airborne.
Correct,
So-
absolutely. You can't just knuckleball it out.
Okay.
Yeah, you're at 160 miles an hour, right? So what did I say? Your optimum range is going to be somewhere in that 13 and 24, 16 and 21, 17 and 20, right? So 34
So it's
to
not going to
36.
hurt me to. My launch is pretty high. I mean, if you look at tour average launches like 10 to 13, or I think 13 is the average, but you look at like Rory and those guys are a little lower. Mine's like 16, 17.
Yeah,
That's
no,
not
you're
a problem
definitely
as long as you don't have a lot of spin on
Overspin.
it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a ratio. It's a sliding scale. Yeah, no, you're fine.
So do you want me to try to max a couple?
So what were your numbers? Like, how consistent were you on those? There was like,
Well, since I switched to the Pro V, they were all 280 to 288.
right, and your spin axis is pretty good. It's under like 7 to 10. It's under that range, so you're fine.
Okay.
Okay, now go like long drive contest.
Well, I'm not going to go to long drop contest, but I am going to go like max. What can I get out of it?
Ugh.
163, 299.
Was it low spin?
Yeah, 16 and 18.
So you gained 2 miles an hour ball speed,
11 more yards.
16 and 18 though, so it was under 2100 RPM spin, which is going to juice it by about 15 yards. Yeah, 1800. So you got, I would say that was probably closer to that 275, 280 if if it was legit.
I don't like that. We're gonna cut that from the video. I like 299. That sounds better.
The ego.
Don't
I mean,
all
like you did, you
go.
just went all out and you gained 2 miles an hour ball speed.
Right, exactly.
I didn't see what the curve was. That sounded like a better stretch.
166.
Yep.
So that one will qualify. It's 2,800 RPMs to spin, but also it was only 283 carry. I didn't gain anything with carry.
Correct. Yeah, because you spun it more.
Yeah.
So there's that efficiency window, right? And that's what I noticed with my own game too, with driver especially. The harder I would go, like I said, I was up to 180 mile an hour ball speed at one point, but I would spin it at 3,000 RPM. And I just could not find a setup that was consistent enough for me to drop the spin. Or I could drop down to 170, 174 mile an hour ball speed, carrying it farther, and it would roll out farther.
So I
And it
would do
wasn't
that.
pain, so there was a window for me.
There was a point there that when I was first getting on the sim a lot, that I was noticing that the higher, when I got my ball speed up, it didn't do anything to my carries. It just increased the spin.
Yep.
So my solution was I got to talk to my club guy and get him to
Correct.
shaft.
Yeah, you could tweak your driver settings and this, that, and the other.
Okay.
But
So
then
that is a true. That's not just a joke. I mean,
No.
sometimes that does mean maybe you could handle a little bit stiffer shaft, a little different kick point.
lower launching head or lower spinning head for sure. But again, it's all about the consistency and the efficiency.
Right.
Cool. We put you into a driver that works for the 1 in 10 swings.
Yeah.
Well, now you just lost distance on all the other ones because you can't carry.
That's right. Yeah. All right, one more.
In my perspective, what most people actually need out of their driver is something that stays in play.
Well, that was 162 speed, 279 carry. So I healed it. So that's what it is. That is the point.
Kind of the
though.
point.
I mean, what did I
Go
pick
faster,
up?
cool, but
Yeah.
there's nothing more that you're gaining.
All you've done is worn yourself out.
You want yourself out, and your misses are much bigger. So so like I said, my theory is most people who want to get better at golf, you've got to be able to keep the ball and play off the tee. You've got to be able to chip and putt, and you got to be able to hit more greens. So with the driver, again, this is where the ego comes in play. Most people would benefit from a driver that went 10 yards shorter, but kept them in dispersion and play much more often. Because now they're not losing 3 strokes, 4 strokes around because, cool, it went 10 yards farther, but you also slice it off the plan.
Well,
Does that make sense?
and then back to this one, which I've noticed this a few times when I did this on number 14 at Eagle Ridge last time I played. It was so for the viewers that don't know, par 5 downhill. There's a creek that crosses about 320, but it's all downhill, so it doesn't
Yeah.
play that at all. So there was, I guess, either it was a little. Sometimes I hit 3 wood. If it's downwind, I hit 3 wood. But it was just the conditions where I could hit a driver, but I couldn't hit one hard. So I just put one of these, okay, just get it nice and in play, control kind of swings. Well, that flew 264 on 150 ball speed. I didn't hit that one great. That particular day, I kind of nutted it. It was almost in the creek. I was a yard off.
I know. And that's the thing, because again, it's the efficiency and all the numbers line up better, and that's why the cliche holds that people say, "Oh, when I swing easy, I hit it better, I hit it farther."
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
reasons for that.